What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So before I get into this video, I want to give a big shout out to one of my subscribers for showing love. Once again, much respect to Corey Smith for the $10 donation via the PayPal. He says, quote, appreciate what you do and sharing your knowledge of the game with the biased media and array of hot takes on the internet. It's always nice that someone offers a sober take on the game and combats some of the ridiculous narratives that are out there. Big salute. Much respect, man. You nailed it around the head, man. That's pretty much my motivation at this time, which is to pretty much go after some of these ridiculous takes that we see out there. It's not all of them. There's some people in the media that, you know, that are pretty fair, but it's an increasingly small and increasingly shrinking proportion of what we see out there. Used to be a few shock jocks out there. Used to be one Stephen A. Smith. Used to be one Skip Bayless. Now it's everybody. Everybody just wants to have this ridiculous take to appease a certain group fan base out there. But what gets lost in translation is that a lot of what they're saying is garbage. It's just them trying to make some noise, some notoriety for themselves. But a lot of people take it as fact, and it's bullshit. You know. So that's what I'm out here for. A lot of other brothers out here for fighting this fight. So I appreciate the love that you guys been showing. And to anyone that wants to donate to this channel, if you choose to, you can do so. The links in the description box below via the PayPal or the Cash App or in the pinned comment in the comment section below. So much appreciated once again to all of you who have shown love to Too Raw for TV, aka Too Raw for Sports, and much appreciated to Corey Smith. So, look, the Brick Brothers are the Brick Brothers, okay? James Harden, Joel Embiid. But the Brick Brothers have an ally out there to help them whenever they are struggling. And that ally, of course, is the officials. Because the Brick Brothers both are among the leaders in free throw attempts. Joel Embiid is averaging almost 12 free throw attempts per game. Almost 12. And if anything, they've gone up since James Harden has joined him on the team. That whistle has been very active. A lot of campaigning out there for that whistle since he's teamed up with James Harden. Now, remember earlier this year, James Harden was really hurting when it came to getting those calls. And as a result, his effectiveness suffered. Remember at one point this year, James Harden wasn't averaging more than 17 points a game. And everybody keeps blaming the hamstring, blaming the hamstring, blaming the hamstring. When in reality, okay, well, if it's the hamstring, then why did last year before he got hurt, when he already had suffered a hamstring injury with Houston, why was he looking so great then? He comes back, whatever, man. It's just a convenient excuse. We all know what it is. He's older, he's heavier, and his lifestyle is taking a toll on his game. Okay? He's relied on free throws, and that's what always trips him up in the postseason. Because a lot of the calls that you get during the regular season, you don't get in the playoffs. We know this. You have to adapt and change your game oftentimes to the playoff atmosphere. You're not going to get those same customary 8 to 15 free throw attempts a night. But James Harden, because the league knows they need their few stars that they have, so they've acquiesced and given into his crybaby campaign and have once again afforded him the calls. And now he's getting over 8 free throw attempts per contest. And we saw that last night. Harden and Embiid combined for 19 free throws in their blowout victory over the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, Tyronn Lue, the head coach of the Clippers, said something very interesting recently. And I'll put a link to this article in the pinned comment in the comment section below. Ty Lue said, quote, Embiid is number one in the league in free throws, and James Harden is number 3. You take away their free throws, and neither one will be top 10 in scoring. Now, I believe that comment is taken a little bit out of context because it makes it sound like he was down in them, but I think he was explaining something. You know how the media do. They take stuff that you say and sensationalize it. But still, the point remains, he ain't lying. I mean, you take, especially with Harden. Harden gets so many of his points from free throws and threes, it's ridiculous. Harden, I'm going to compare it to Michael Jordan. Jordan got a lot of free throws. He did. But about 23% of his points came from the foul line. 25% of Kobe's points came from the foul line. 31% of James Harden's points come from free throws. And it's gotten worse as the years have gone on. That's why a lot of times when he's not getting those calls, he disappears. When he doesn't get those calls, he gets frustrated. It throws him off rhythm. It throws him off his game. And he has those shit water uh, type of games, man. And Joel Embiid's not that much better. Now, if you take free throws away from anybody, they're going to take a huge scoring hit. But I've seen games where Mike only shot 5 free throws and still had 40. I've seen games when Kobe only shot 3, 4, 5 free throws and still had 38, 40 points. I've seen games even when Iverson only took 4 or 5 attempts at the foul line and still dropped 30 to 40 points. James Harden is reliant on that foul line. Very reliant. And his free throws mask gross inefficiency out there. This is a guy that had a 50-point game a couple of years ago because he hit 25 or 25 free throws. But he only shot 11 of 38 from the game, for the floor from the game. Joel Embiid can give you 35 points, but shoot fucking 6 of 20 because he shoots 20-something free throws in the game. But that shit's going to catch up with him in the playoffs. It almost always, I'm certain of it. It almost always happens. One of these games, it's going to be a physical contest, maybe against Milwaukee. And what's going to happen is you're going to have a game before where Philadelphia wins. Harden and Embiid are going to shoot 35 free throws together. Giannis is going to be pushed around and they're going to call shit. Giannis is going to shoot like 8 free throws. The Sixers are going to win by 8. And look, there are going to be some complaints by the Bucks about, hey, why are they getting all these ticky-tack fouls and Giannis is getting mauled out there and he's not getting anything? And the league going to look at that shit, say, yeah, you know what? They got a point. And the next game, James Harden gonna do those drives where he's pretty much what I'm saying, bowling balling his ass down, trying to get strikes and shit, and they're not gonna call shit. We see it all the time. Get mad, cry about be consistent with all this bullshit, and they're gonna lose the series, and their fans gonna turn on James Harden and Joel Embiid. I already know what's gonna happen, man. All I know is this: they're gonna fucking fail.